Hello students, it's a physics class and today we will discuss how to find the magnetic field due to a dipole on the equatorial line. After that, we will find torque on the magnetic dipole in the uniform magnetic field, right? After that, potential energy of the magnetic dipole in the magnetic field. These are the topic which are similar to that of the in electric field, right? These are repeated. We already done this topic in case of the electric field. Let's start. Let us start at a point on the equatorial line of the bar magnet. Consider a bar magnet having a south pole and north pole separated by a dipole length which is 2L. Let P is the observation point where we have to find the magnetic field. Due to the south pole, the magnetic field at point P acting across PA, and magnetic field due to the north pole at point P is acting along BP. So these two are the vector quantity acting at an angle 2 theta, because this is theta, so this angle is also theta and this angle is also theta, and the total angle between the two magnetic field becomes 2 theta. To find the resultant magnetic field due to the south pole, due to the north pole, we have to find the resultant of these two vector quantity. As we know that when the two vectors are acting at an angle, then the resultant will be given by the diagonal, and we have to complete the parallelogram. So the magnetic field due to the south pole is mu naught upon 4 pi. M is the dipole strength upon r square plus l square under the root whole square along PA. And Bn is the magnetic field due to the north pole, which is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi m upon root r square plus l square whole square along Bp. Since the magnitude of the magnetic field due to south pole and due to the north pole is equal, and we have to find the magnitude of the resultant, which is equal to magnetic field of the north pole square, so magnitude of the magnetic field due to the south pole whose square plus 2 Bn Bs cos of 2 theta. Since magnitude of the magnetic field due to the north pole and magnetic field due to the south pole is equal to B, so replace the Bn and Bs by the B. We get B equivalent is equal to B square plus B2 square plus 2BB cos of 2 theta. On simplify these, take the 2b square common and 1 plus cos 2 theta remain within the bracket. 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta, which is the identity used, and it becomes the 2b cos of theta. As the magnetic field B is mu naught upon 4 pi m upon r square plus l square and cos theta into 2. The value of cos theta can be calculated from this diagram, which is the base upon hypotenuse, and base is the 2L, base is the L, and hypotenuse is r square plus l square. B equatorial point, magnetic field on the equatorial point is mu naught upon 4 pi m upon r square plus l square raised to power 3 by 2. If the L is very small than R, so ignore the L and we get mu naught upon 4 pi m upon R cube along negative x-axis. This is the magnetic field due to a bar magnet on the equatorial line. Next we will start torque. Torque on the magnetic dipole in the uniform magnetic field. Let us consider a bar magnet placed at an angle theta in the magnetic field, in the uniform magnetic field. As we know that when the bar magnet is placed in the magnetic field, it experiences torque because the number of forces are acting on the north pole and the south pole. The magnetic force on the north pole is mb along the direction of magnetic field, and magnetic force due to the south pole is mb acting opposite to the direction of magnetic field. Now, these two forces have the different line of actions and same magnitude, but direction is different. So they form a couple and produce torque. As we know that torque is perpendicular distance into either of force, magnitude of either of force. The force on the north due to the north pole is mb and due to the south pole is mb. Direction is opposite and magnitude is same. So we get either of force MB, and the perpendicular distance we have to find. So draw the perpendicular from the B to N point. BN is the perpendicular. So NB upon AB is equal to sin theta, NB is equal to 2 sin theta by using the triangle. We get torque, perpendicular distance is NB, which is equal to 2L sin theta into MB. 2L into M is the dipole moment, which is denoted by capital M, and small m is the dipole strength. So we get MB sine of theta, that is M cross B. Now special cases, when theta is 0 degree, sine 0 is 0. So the torque will be the minimum, which is 0. Second, when the theta is equal to 90 degree, sine 90 is 1 and torque is the maximum. Next, we have calculate the potential energy of the magnetic dipole in the magnetic field. Right? We have to calculate the potential energy. As we know in the physics, whenever we have to find the energy, we find firstly work done. Here, force is the rotational force, which is torque, and displacement is angular displacement, that is theta. So when we know that when a bar magnet is placed in the magnetic field, it experiences torque. If this dipole is placed through a small angle d theta, then work is to be done to move this dipole. See, so dW is equal to torque into d theta is the work done. Work is equal to force into displacement. Here force is the angular force and displacement is also angular displacement. In the order to calculate the total work done, we have to integrate from the theta 1 to theta 2. So W is equal to MB is the constant, so take it outside the integration. Sin theta integration is minus cos theta. Limit is, upper limit is theta 2 and lower limit is theta 1. On putting the limit, we get minus MB cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. If theta 1 is 90 degree and theta 2 is equal to theta, then putting the values, we get work done is equal to minus MB cos of theta. And we know that work done is equal to the potential energy, so U is equal to minus MB cos of theta. Now we have some special cases when theta is equal to 0 degree, means magnetic momentum and magnetic field both are in parallel. So U is equal to minus MB, which is the minimum energy. When theta is equal to 90 degree, angle is cos 90 is 0, so energy is potential energy is 0. When the theta is 180 degree, U is equal to minus MB cos of 180 degree. Cos 180 is minus 1, so we get MB, which is the maximum potential energy. Right? These are the some topics which are based upon the magnetic field, based upon the torque. Now we have to show that current loop as a magnetic dipole. A current carrying loop is behave as a magnetic dipole. When in the wire current is flowing, suppose current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction. When you observe this wire from the upper side, you see that the current is flowing anti-clockwise direction. As we know that when the current is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, it behaves as a north pole. And when this loop is observed from the downward direction, we see that current is flowing in clockwise direction and it behaves as a south pole. Thus, a current carrying coil have the two poles, north pole and the south pole. So it behaves as a magnetic dipole, right? If the loop behaves as a magnetic dipole, then it has a magnetic momentum. And this magnetic momentum is directly proportional to the I and directly proportional to the area. So M is equal to KIA and K is equal to 1 in SI system. So M is equal to I into A. If the loop containing n number of turns, so the magnetic momentum is equal to NIA. Unit of the magnetic momentum is AM square and dimension formula of M is equal to M0 L2 T0A. Next, the magnetic dipole moment of revolving electron. We have to calculate the magnetic momentum. Kiska? Of revolving electron. We have to use the Bohr's concept here, right? First of all, let us take the electron is revolving around the nucleus. As the revolving electron form the current loop, and we know current loop is behave as a magnetic dipole, and this magnetic dipole had the magnetic momentum I into area. So replace the value of I and the area. I is equal to Q upon T. Q is replaced by E upon T, and T is 2 pi r upon circumference upon velocity. So I become EV upon 2 pi r and area is pi r square. Putting these two value in the equation number 1, we get M is equal to EV upon 2 pi r into pi r square, which is equal to EVR upon 2. Now we know that the angular momentum is LmVr, and V into R we get L upon M. Putting this value in place of the sixth equation, M is equal to EL upon 2m. Since electron has negative sign, so M is equal to minus EL upon 2m. Now we have to apply the Bohr's condition because we have to calculate the Bohr magneton, right? So according to Bohr's postulate, only those orbits are permissible whose angular momentum is mvr, and second postulate L is equal to nh upon 2 pi. So put the value of L and h upon 2 pi, we get M is equal to minus E N h upon 2 pi m upon 2, which is N E h upon 4 pi m. E h upon 4 pi m is called mu b, which is the Bohr magneton, and have the value 9.27 into 10 raised to power minus 24 ampere meter squared. It is known as Bohr magneton, denoted by mu b. Next we have magnitude of the magnetic field with the magnetic needle. Means we have to compare the strength of the magnetic field without using the property. This is also important derivation. Let us take a magnetic needle which is placed at an angle theta in the uniform magnetic field. As we know that magnetic field start vibrate in the magnetic field, so it start oscillating. Vibration means it starts oscillating. In case of the oscillation, we have to find the time period. As we know that time period of the oscillation is equal to 2 pi under the root alpha upon acceleration, displacement upon acceleration, theta upon acceleration. We have to calculate the time period, which is 2 pi theta upon acceleration, right? ये आपने +1 क्लास में भी पढ़ा है बेटा. हाउ टू फाइंड द टाइम पीरियड ऑफ द ऑसिलेशन. दिस इज द t is equal to 2 pi displacement upon acceleration. Here displacement is theta and acceleration is delta square theta upon dt square. So we have to find the value of time period. In the order to find the value of time period, we see that this magnetic needle will start vibrating, means it experiences a torque. There are the two kind of the torques acting on the needle. One is the restoring torque and second one is the deflecting torque. Restoring torque is mv sin theta and deflecting torque is equal to I alpha. Alpha is the angular acceleration and I is the moment of inertia. So I into del square theta upon del t square, which is the acceleration. Now at the equilibrium, the needle will stop vibrating when the restoring torque is equal to deflecting torque. Restoring torque is I del square theta upon del t square minus mb sin theta. Minus sign indicate that the restoring torque and deflecting torque are opposite in nature. Now putting the value of delta square theta upon del t square in the time period, which is 2 pi theta upon del square theta upon dt square under the root, we get t is equal to 2 pi I upon mb, and to find the value of t squaring both sides, t square 4 pi square I upon mb, and b magnetic field. Strength of the magnetic field can be calculated if the moment of inertia is known, time period is known, and magnetic momentum is known. Next we have solenoid as an equivalent magnet. Let us consider a solenoid which is made up of the large number of the circular loops. As we already studied that these circular loops behave as a bar magnet. So there are the large number of bar magnet, and these all the bar magnets combine to form a single magnet whose length is L. Thus the solenoid behave as a bar magnet. Next we have bar magnet is equivalent to a solenoid. When we dissolve the bar magnet into small portions, then it is equivalent to a circular loop, and hence the combination of circular loop behave as a solenoid. Thus bar magnet behave as a solenoid. Moreover, the magnetic line of forces of the bar magnet are similar to that of the solenoid. So these two are equivalent. Thank you, beta. If you have doubt, then you can call me. Thank you.